Hello and welcome. I'm this time streaming again, and it's Pyanodons mod pack. I'm currently standing at my steam engines, which are burning all kinds of carbon stuff. And I guess I have to do certain things, which I don't really remember right now. I definitely want to put some of the science on the bus. For instance, I'm not yet producing any of those glass bottles on the bus. Glass bottles and these petri dishes. I think I'm already producing cellulose on the bus and formic acid as well. And this latex thing. And of course, carbon dioxide is also on the bus. But it's slightly annoying that all of these products need steam above 165 degrees. So right now I think I will remove this seaweed factory. Because I'm producing enough seaweed somewhere else. I definitely need some of these microorganism mines. So up till now I have encircled half of my base with these wood factories. And they draw a lot of pollution, which is good because at some point the pollution went up to here because the steam engines are there and this goes into every direction. But there was a hole in this wall of forest trees, so the pollution could escape at that point. And right now I'm using a lot of the logs that come out of there either to make wood or to directly burn it in the steam engines. It's of course slightly annoying for the stream that the light has gone out. It's dark now and I don't think I have lights on me, and it would be quite a difficult project to place lights everywhere. I might just remove some of those things that are left here from previous factories. And then I could throw these things into destinations where they are actually needed. So this is the bus. So this coke can go in certain places. I have to figure out where exactly it should be put. Guess I don't really need to put it into this carbon dioxide production. But I guess it's nice to produce some ash. And I can throw the iron oxide to the left in some bigger furnaces or foundries. I guess they are called advanced foundries. Okay, now I need to see what else I can produce. I think I should basically do these glasswares next, but for that I need rubber stoppers. Which have two different recipes, so either I use rubber directly, I guess that's just in any old machine, or the recipe with coal and latex. And that's a scrubber, which appears in the search results because rubber is inside of the word, and that as well. But I will see whether I should just use the normal rubber, which is up here, so I might have to build the belt the other way around. Hello, Quinn. Nice to see you in the chat. So this uses carbon black and polybutadiene. And I'm wondering if that's a good choice to use up this rubber. I'm doing fine. I was feeling strong enough to actually stream today, so that wasn't the case for quite a while. And how are you doing? So now I need to follow this line to where it might be produced. I guess it's quite far down. On the way I can pick up some power poles. So I'm producing it here. And the problem is that it also produces steam at a lower temperature, which I can't really get rid of right now, so I wouldn't really want to use that process too much. And also for some reason it uses titanium, which I would have to provide. How do you find looking at this game right now and seeing this complexity? I mean, that's not the vanilla game, it's quite modded, but, well, probably quite disturbing to see that. I always forget the difference between complex and complicated. I guess Harald Lesch liked to explain the difference very much, but I always forget what exactly it was. Now I'm out of belts again. I guess I could produce more of this limestone. It's just using water, so I would have enough of that. I just need to build more of those soil extractors. And I guess I also wanted to put tin on the bus, as well as tinned cable. Don't really know if I am already producing that in great amounts. Yeah, and they added at some point this nice map view, so you can see every recipe that's being produced from the map view. So you can see some very regular things there. That's my forestries where I produce wood. And I just copied the layout. And this is actually good to reduce the pollution that comes out of the factory, which is this red cloud. And there are some bugs or enemies that might come whenever the pollution reaches them. So it's definitely good to try to suck up the pollution somehow. Normally trees would do that, but we hate trees, so we just cut them down because they're in the way of the factory. And then we grow the trees inside of controlled factories. And then we of course have a lot of wood that we can then burn for more energy. And I guess I am out of hot steam that I need for certain recipes. So I might need to put more boilers in somewhere. I hope I have enough pipes for that. But first I will place these soil extractors. And I guess I could just make this less complicated and remove some belts. And it's sad that the two machines don't fit there. And I don't really want to build any weird things around other places, so I will just try to keep it on the similar level. I guess it might have been around 2014 or 15. I don't know when Factorio came out, but I was playing it since the 0.4 version. I'm not sure when exactly that was, but it looked a lot worse then. I mean, for many people it's graphically not very interesting still, but I mean the graphics and everything has become a lot better since the old days. So now I need to get the water to these structures. First with some underground pipes. And then this machine still needs energy. And now I need to connect this up to the other belt. Okay, now I should go to the steam engines and try to produce a bit more steam. While I'm going there, I might look at the energy graph. So it's not going down, that's a good thing. I seem to have enough steam at the moment. At least for the steam engines. But not for the rest of the factory that still might need the steam. Might also be a lack of water. So I might install another offshore pump. I'm now shooting the trees. I guess that's not very efficient. So we'll just hack them down with my axe. I mean, the vanilla version of the game is quite more simple, so it's easier to get started. The mod pack I am currently in is really the most complicated one that one can imagine. I guess it's just built for ridiculous complexity. Also, I think I could build another one there. And this might now work. I will add a few of those burner inserters. I like, of course, Factorio over certain other games because you have weird synergies in here, I would say. Like you can transport belts on belts, you can have chests in chests. And these things like burner inserters, which are powered by coal or other fossil fuels, or even nuclear fuel, and then they transport these fuels into machines, which is quite an interesting idea. And in other games, for instance Satisfactory, you actually just produce the machines on the fly out of random resources that you bring in. Okay, you left some trees alive, but with damage apparently. Thanks for your comment. I built that recently to get rid of some wood that I had a lot of, and now I mostly don't have wood anymore. But it was, of course, nice to not use up so much coal. So I'm producing a lot of wood in these forestries, and that needs to go somewhere. And now I do want more steam. So no, I don't want steam engines, I just want possibly pipes. And I guess what I could do is tear some part of it up again, because I actually want to let the steam go through there with an underground belt pipe. So you can also just burn biomass in the steam engines or in the boilers. Do you also play this mod pack? Guess I should look at that at some point to see the exact fuel value. Also, I should get rid of these sap seeds. Can't just throw them in the ground and get some sap trees. But I know a place where it should go. Did you play just one base, or did you try multiple playthroughs with that mod? Yeah, I think I want to try to convert some things into biomass later. Right now I need to find more purposes for the biomass, I guess. Right now I'm only using biomass for carbon dioxide production, and that's full at the moment. But I guess there will be very many different purposes for biomass. I'm not using any, or I'm not building any aliens at the moment. I have researched most of the red science stuff, but I guess all of these life forms, I still have to get into that and understand how that all works. Definitely looks interesting, the concept. But I first want to automate all the stuff that I need to get red science. I mean, it's automated already, but it's not yet on the bus. It's rather in a weird structure in my starter base. So I guess my current goal is done. I have some more of that higher temperature steam. Still don't really know what to do with the lower temperature steam. If you have any ideas, if I should just vent it into the nature or do something with it. There are certain things that I have too much of. Yes, also this combustion mix is sort of a byproduct of just me getting rid of coal gas, but probably it's used for something. I need to look at the cooling towers. I think I might be able to build them already. That's definitely stuff that I have. But I also think it would be nice to have these control circuitry to say at which point I want to let certain fluids and gases through. So that I, for instance, can say, yes, please produce water until I have a certain amount, or for instance, the offshore pumps should only work when there's less than 80% water in the pipe or something. Yeah, it's a bit weird what you can do and what you can't do in this game. I thought that maybe the combustion mix, or there's also some kind of hot oven gas that you could use, but you can't really heat up the steam that's already steam. So one of the next things I want to do is bring tin to the bus. I guess I wanted to get this from here, since that's a nice big new patch, then I don't have to work I don't know where. I have tin. I guess this is tin, so that's very spread out and weird. And I have to bring the steam over to wherever I do that. So this machine doesn't work with a 62-degree steam, so I have to do it differently. I guess I'm not really able at the moment to produce any modules, but I think whenever I can, I will. Also, my inventory is quite full of stuff. So now I will transport some electricity over to the left. I guess it doesn't have to be so neatly, but that helps probably with saving some power poles. Yeah, I'm using the far reach mod because it can be slightly annoying to have to run everywhere. So electric mining drills, I will still have to bring steam over. I guess that should definitely be enough for now, since I can put seaweed in it or fish. That was a really nice discovery whenever I found that I could do that. Apparently the power poles are not long enough for that. And then I guess I will just throw them in a random furnace. All these advanced foundries, I mean, they are quite big and expensive to make. I don't know if you use them. At the beginning, of course, you would just use these stone furnaces. Yeah, I guess because I hate biters and playing with them, I use that sometimes to turret creep. But at the moment I'm keeping the biters away with not letting the pollution out. And I'm not sure how to deal with them. Maybe I'll just try to get some better machine gun. Can I build turrets already? I think I can. Normally I just try to place some behind me and then get a bit closer. So I don't know why I'm running here, but I guess I can just look at these machines, how fast they produce. Crafting speed 2, and these furnaces have crafting speed 1. But they are also 3 times the size in every direction. I do have biters, I think. I don't know how important it is to have them, if they are used for anything, but I have them still. But it's not like I would play a death world on Pyanodons. The game is already quite complicated without the constant terror of aliens. So I think I will get some more electronic circuits and copper wire. Yeah, I guess the most important difference at the moment is the amount of pollution they create, but since I now have control over the trees, I can just make some more tree or forest trees around the whole place, and then I can get rid of the pollution again. I'm not yet sure if they expand. I don't think they do. I created the world quite long ago, so I don't really know the settings anymore. But I haven't seen any jumps anywhere, so guess that was the closest I've seen them, and up there as well. But I think they are not peaceful. I guess I wanted to get some steam over, which I will just get from my big steam array. So this is the higher temperature steam. I wonder where it goes. Hopefully to somewhere where it's already used, so I can follow it to the left. And I think I've already put it on the bus. My weird kind of sometimes pipe bus, sometimes belt bus. So I will try to skip this. So what is this crawdad? Some kind of animal. Seems to be interesting. I hope the fact that it isn't an ingredient in something isn't bad. I think it's just that it probably lives in some fencing and then has to give certain items in return, I guess. I could also look there. That's true. I don't know whether it's a jellyfish, but yeah, I've researched that already. And the research is a prerequisite for certain other things. So it should definitely make sense to have that at some point. I wonder how many days it will take to get to the green science. I guess right now I will try to get some steam to the left. I might just do it here because I have some underground belts there already. So I like how neat and tidy this looks, but I guess some people don't like building on resources. but I don't really care right now because I want to build the bus before I reach the end of the map. It's a vehicle, okay, yeah, so that's okay. In that case, it doesn't have any things it can be used in, probably. Just like the car. Definitely very helpful getting all your tips and hints for the future of what I'm doing, or for the present even. Still didn't look at the biomass, which I could do now. If I find it. I guess that doesn't really help. Maybe because it's made in a composter and the recipe isn't shown here. But I guess I can find out later what the exact fuel value is. Maybe I can just throw the biomass at the steam engines. Yeah, it was quite difficult not to build on anything in the starting area. And so this is a big mess of pipes, and this also, they are quite on top of each other, so it was even quite difficult to mine them, because I think if I wanted to mine tin in this area, the miner said I should provide coal gas because it rather wanted aluminum ore or something like that. Or maybe it was with the raw coal and something here. So it's better to have designated mining areas for certain things. Okay, with blue biters you just mean some evolution of them. I have seen other mods which make the biters really blue and even allow some weird biter evolutions. So that's probably not it, but just the usual transformations those biters take. Good to know. I hope I will soon be able to do more military stuff. I guess I could research whenever I will be able to set ammo. I'll just do research military. So military 2 is probably quite reachable whenever I have the green science. So I will probably do that at some point. So right there I will probably just use some kind of fuel. I'm not yet sure which kind I will use exactly. But all the other furnaces I had so far I have powered manually with some coal at certain times. But that of course doesn't last forever. Does it use like 40 tin ore? Yeah, and then it starts. So it's 4 tin plate for 40 tin ore. Okay, so I should probably do that crawdad at some point. I guess that was the wrong direction. This will look a bit weird, but who cares? I think it's still quite regular and systematic. So I guess the tin might not go much further, but I will just keep the belt there for whenever I do something else with that. So I guess I could bring that up there. See ya. So I need to see where exactly I should put that. I will have 4 of the belts here. And then there are 4 different pipes. The carbon dioxide is not yet coming with, but I can just fix that. Then there's some vacuum on the belt, on the bus. Would be nice to just transport vacuum in an item on the bus. So I guess tin can just be the 4th item. No, well, that's wrong. Let's just go there. So then I will have these things. There will be something else. Not yet sure what will be there, but probably something will come up. For instance, I could just produce some tinned copper wire if I find that. Tinned cable is it called? Okay. Let's just bring over some copper wire from there. It's nice how exactly that fits when the bus is aligned with the length of the underground belts. Thank you and goodbye. Still have some tin ore in my inventory, but I weirdly have lost a few things, which is nice. So the inventory isn't cluttered anymore. Guess I don't really need more than 50 splitters at the moment. It's nice how the tin plates come to this place in very distinct patterns. So now I just put some cables there. Don't really know in how many other recipes cables will be. I might just look. Okay, that's the production thing. But there are quite a few recipes that use them, so it's still a good idea to have them on the bus. And I might just look as well how often tinned cable is used, also in even more recipes. So I should just keep it and give it a full bus lane probably. So I will just get the tinned copper cable back. I guess that's a really nice idea to have these alternating left-right belts. Then you can just step on there and go wherever you want. So there's the tin production. I can just throw some tin ore in there. Oh no, that's the wrong idea. I actually want to get the tin plates. But I think from here on in I will do something different. I have to remember where it was, or just look for it, probably. I don't know why this is so long. Is that the maximum amount of recipes in one of those categories? So there's tinned cable, it just used in a regular old machine. So for now I will use these assembling machines. although I might probably at some point use the other machines. Or maybe there will be better machines at some point, so I'll not upgrade to those expensive ones. Those ones. Crafting speed 1.5. But quite a low pollution, but also probably expensive to create. Automated factory, so it takes 2 assemblers and lots of other stuff. What did you mean about the barrels? Something is very long? Ah, the scroll bar. Yes, that seems to be the culprit. It's really weird that there are these usual, or let's say, yeah, the rather usual recipes and then 10 million barrel recipes. And I don't even know what that is. Okay, 70%, 73%, and every number in the alphabet, I guess. Which is not seriously meant, but jokingly. So let's hope that's enough tint cable for now. So how much does it take? It's 0.5 seconds, so they should produce quite quick, at least if I provide some of the tin. Okay, I didn't really look at the module slots, so these other machines all have one module slot. And this is of course a bit weird and interesting that they use MOS as modules or their particular stuff. This has one module, this has one module space. And yeah, this has just one module space as well. And they don't increase, probably because it's still the same machine later. Okay, 2 fluids. If I need 2 fluids, I need those automated machines. Okay, that's good to know. Don't really know if I need any more of these spores, but I guess the machine will just do as it does. So I'm getting rid of the syngas quite quickly. Don't know if I have to add some more of the machines that make syngas. I guess the machines are quite high up. Okay, the syngas recipe uses or puts out a lot of tar, which I need to get rid of. Maybe you know some good recipes for that. I think I've already, during the last days and hours, tried to figure out some ways to get rid of that. Don't really know what the flue gas is about, if I need that for anything. And I haven't yet made any hydrogen or chlorine for some of the recipes. I think I still have to put lead on the bus, and I could make crude oil. I could also just make biomass out of the tar. That might be a good idea at some point. How did you lay out those recipes? Did you just build all of the machines? Or did you somehow pin it to the side? I could just look at how well the biomass does. I mean, the little wood that comes through already produces enough of that. And well, it just goes into this process. I guess that's even fully aligned. But I might try to use less of the, what's it, coke, I guess. Some of the coke is going down, and it's probably just wasted on the steam engines. I guess I have used Factory Planner at least for the first science pack. Ah, that's the second already. So I've used that to figure out a way to produce all the things that I needed. Don't really know why it's like that right now. Ah, there's all the things that I wanted to remember about creating the red science. And then I created this in my starting factory. Now I want to try and move all the things that are still left in the starter factory to the bus. I guess this is Helmut, yes. What's your screen size? I theoretically have 4K, but I would not be able to focus on anything if that's full of recipes. I wish there was an easier way to just deal with all the mental input. I guess I might build a few more furnaces there. And I still need to bring some fuel over. I guess I could just use the biomass that I was just referring to. At some point I hope we can just stream all the information of Factorio into our brains, and then we don't need any screen space. Okay, there's the biomass. Could try to build a few more composters. Probably in a different space. So what do I need? I can make one more, but I will probably just get some more of those small parts, and I guess steel is a limiting factor right now, and I can just fetch, some of the parts on the way back. So I need to get away through there. And I still did manage not to look at the fuel value. It's just 1 megajoule, which is okay, I guess. Just half of the wood. I need to remember to get steel and something else for the composter. I think it was these machine parts. So how do I get through here? So there's this carbon black. There's sap and these alginate things. And there's latex. And I think the third of these will then be biomass, at least for a moment. I guess I can carry through biomass through the bus all the way, since it might be used in so many things. At some point I should probably build a looped bus where all the thousands of different things are next to each other and then they rotate around, so they also are available at the beginning of the bus. I guess that's another weird disadvantage of usual furnaces is that they need fuel, but probably there will be electric furnaces at some point. I guess I will just go like this. And then I should have biomass to the left. Except now I've run out of belts. And while I'm fetching belts, I can also hopefully remember to get steel and these machine parts. Small parts are they called. But it's probably not your first train, is it? I guess trains are possible from green science onwards. I've seen someone, I guess it was Vasations, build the whole Pyanodons thing out of train stops. That was quite exciting. So now I need to find the composter again. I think it should be in this green tab. Yeah, the symbol is understandable. Now I've wasted a lot of titanium and duralumin. So where do I go from here? I guess I should not forget to get the belts actually. And I guess there are also some power poles in a chest here. I'll just take half of that. And now I just need to remember where I had the biomass belt. Yellow science, is that the 5th one? Or is it that orange bottle thing? Do we have the same symbols? Do you use the same mod pack, hopefully? Oh no, there's actually yellow science. So it's the blue stuff. Cargo whales, is this a mod? Or is this in this Pyanodons mod pack? I'll just look for whales, I guess. I only find storage tanks, but I guess whales are also just big storage tanks. And the country whales, I mean, I don't really think. I mean, whales probably can store a lot of fluids and stuff. But let's not go there. Pi L. What is that? Cargo, I guess. So you can actually use these. Oh, that looks like a whale. The symbol. Alien life, yeah, I should have that. So are these animals, alien life things actually useful in many senses that they can do certain things for you? I thought you just had to coop them up and get their stuff or something. First I really thought it was something like slime ranches, where you have to feed them and then collect their output. But maybe it's more interesting than that. With the name Ocular, I thought of the Oculus Rift VR glasses. But that's probably something different. Maybe the Ocular has something like big eyes. But I guess I will find out later, whenever I manage to get all the things that I really need on the bus. Sounds useful. So that's some kind of big delivery robot machine or life form. Okay, some of the furnaces already cry for help. I hope the biomass doesn't get burned too fast. I'll just double the capacity, because I think I will need a lot more tin. And I was working towards construction robots, but I always get distracted a bit. I think if I have construction robots, it will be a lot easier to build some of those very similar looking machine things. So I hope now that this accelerates the production. And I wonder whether that uses up all of my biomass. It doesn't seem to be such a high draw. You always learn new things every day, every minute. But I also don't really know anything about the high-tech science here. I am happy that I can sort of deal with the red science at the moment. So now I have tinned cable. I might just try to wait. Yeah, that's tinned cable. It looked weird right here from a certain zoom. So I can collect some of it. Previously I always filled some assemblers with tin and copper wire, and then I had to always get there and fill it automatically, no, fill it manually and get the stuff out again. Don't really know how often I will use these assemblers and miners on the bus, but I guess I have them there now. I hate it when autosave hinders the building. Also happens sometimes when I want to precisely remove something and then autosave comes along and stops that. What's that? A Nix ants? I don't really know that. Is that a mod or something? Ah, yes, okay. So the silent autosaves only work on Linux and Mac systems? Oops. Don't delete anything. So now I have that. I guess that was just for convenience, even though the production of these was slightly inconvenient. But now I have more stuff. I should just move this along slightly so that I can see that there is something actually. And yes, the biomass as well. And there's just carbon black and probably latex later on. And then the copper field is probably over at some point. I have to remember what's next. Not really sure what I wanted to do. I guess construction robots might be helpful now. So they need belt and solder, and I don't have aluminum plate on the bus yet. How exactly do I make belt? I guess I did produce rubber for that. So I can easily do that probably. And I should probably do it on the left side since there's a lot of space. No, that's not rubber. That's carbon black. Does anyone ever put something on the bus but backwards? Is that weird? If I let the rubber run backwards now. I mean, it can probably be done like this so that some parts of it go up and some go down. So there's my iron ore line, which I can still skip, hopefully, with all the things. Or I have to move it with some other method. Maybe later I can use trains for that. So I wonder whether that's easily distinguishable. If I zoom in, yes. But from this zoom, it would be quite difficult to see what is what. So I guess I need more belts. I mean, transport belts. Now that's confusing because I'm also having to produce other belts, which can probably be used in the production of transport belts, I guess. At least I saw some different recipes, so I will now try to produce that before I forget, but also I wanted to make biomass out of tar. Hopefully I don't forget that now. Don't really know how many machines I will have to use for this belt stuff. So it takes 1 second. Okay, I still have to transport it quite a way. Hope I can align that correctly. Yeah, I'm not sure yet what I will put on the bus in the end, or what I will... I mean, I could try to phase some things out at some point if they are just used in 1 or 2 recipes. And at some point I will probably also have robots carrying very rare items around. And I guess, for instance, this stuff, this calcium carbide isn't used in many things, so I just use it right there. I guess the middle lane there is just populated up there. I also have to see... Yeah, I guess these latex slabs are just going in there, and I think they are not used for anything else. So, of course, that would be quite useless to put that on the bus. But these latex items, I guess they were used in more things, so that makes actually sense to put it on the bus. And I should remember to do that at some point. I will probably just prepare the machines for that. I wonder what I did wrong. Or did I do nothing wrong? So, okay, they actually produced these belt things. And now I needed to remember to build something else. Rubber stoppers. And I will build them out of coal and latex. I just want to prepare that and not do this completely right now. So the belt will later be used in the robot, construction robots, I think. Now I have to remember or find a way to put that on there. I will just use half a belt for now. I wanted to put tar in the composter. I'm not yet sure how and when I will be able to build a mall of some size. I mean, of course, for a mall it doesn't make sense to have a bus because you only build a very limited amount of factories, so you would have to just put the resources needed for the machines to the side. Guess I'm not really an expert on malls. Okay, that's a good thing to keep in mind. I guess I could just try to do that. Would be more efficient in that case. Especially because it only uses one ingredient. So we'll probably just have to find out where to build the robots and then bring the rubber over there. Okay, that's the way to get rid of tar. That looks weird, but okay. And to get things actually on this belt, I might just have to remove this probably. It's also nice, yeah, that you use the term rubber belt. I think that's good to distinguish it from the transport belts. So did I forget anything? I think now I will just try to pick a place for the construction robots. So I guess at the moment I can't build those, or I can't build them at any point in time because they are in the vanilla game. That was a very useless search. So this belt stuff, which I could produce at the point where it's needed, and then I still need aluminum plate, which is just aluminum ore in most cases. Don't really know if I want to do the hot air thing. I might. How do I get molten aluminum? I have to powder the aluminum and put borax inside. Then I get tailings out. Okay, that's maybe unnecessarily complex at the moment. But I could also just now build solder. The easiest way would be to just throw them in an assembler. Or I have to melt it. So 50 gives 5, or with hot air it gives 7. How do I get the molten solder? So that's a way to get rid of tar. One of your 50 to 100 recipes you mentioned, I guess. Or did you just mention the recipes that produce tar? Yeah, I don't know. I could use Helmut for that, yes. But then I would have to use Helmut, which is already quite complicated. So let's try solder. Can I just say I want a certain item? Please calculate the most efficient way to get it. So that's 20 molten solder from, let's say, 2 lead plate and 1 tin plate. That's also 2 lead plate, 1 tin plate for 1 solder. 20 molten solder. Okay, times 2.5 gives 7 solder. My brain is already about to give up. It would be nice to have such a complicated way of doing it, but also maybe a bit unnecessarily complicated at the moment. If I would do it, I would have to put certain things somewhere or leave some space for that operation. But I guess I should also just do that outside of the bus and not on the bus, since it's providing resources basically. Okay, you say I should just put that there, for instance, and then use a recipe for that. So what kind of machine is that? So does an oxygen furnace basically need some kind of fuel, and that is just an example for it probably. $100 solder. Can I put in the numbers somewhere? Quite new to this. Output there. Quantity, okay. Can I now just add one there so it's in the same tab next to each other, or do I have to switch the views? So I will now add the other production line, add a recipe. I think I will compare it to just the normal solder recipe. I think for the other recipe I still needed to get the hot air factored in. Or is that already considered somehow? So I would use this recipe with the stone bricks. Wait, it's now twice in there. Okay, 100. So that basically just uses 200 of those and 100 of tin. And that uses probably less of those. wait, it's 200 and 100, and that's 71 and 35. But also a lot of other resources. Yeah, it's quite a bit better. I think I might try to build a system where I basically only use this except when there's no tar available or any of the other resources lacking, except for those base resources, and only then I shall use the other recipe. So you say the hot air production with this funny stone brick thing would be better. What did I just do? I added another production line. I can remove it, and there I probably need to add a recipe. I will just try it. Is it hot air? Or I could basically just click on that, or click on that, and then there's the other one. So for that I would need these warm stone bricks, and there I need this coke oven gas. Which is probably some process that I haven't yet explored. Okay, so there are some weird imbalances in this mod. H2 and air, okay, or hot air. So I will just try to find this recipe. How do I, okay, it's basically made of coke, no, coal, and this produces also some coke and coke oven gas as a byproduct. Seems to be a quite complicated machinery then as well, but I guess if I set it up once, then it's there. But I probably don't depend on building that right away. So I might try to just set up the solder production. For that I would need tin and lead. I think I still need a way to make lead. Don't know if this recipe is any good. I would need an automated screener. And of course lead ore, which is just probably mined from a resource. So I should mine some lead from a good resource and then try to start this molten solder process. Okay, that's even more complicated. Looking at these factory and beacon configurations, but I guess at some point I shall understand and use that. There are 4 tiers of these machines. I will also stop the research blinking. So there's light oil processing, which I could start. And warehousing, and I don't really know if I need to do that because it's probably just the legacy green science. Okay, I will now look at the map and try to figure out where I will get the lead from. This is lead, raw coal, stone. I will not go and try to mine anything in the starter base. I guess all of these things I can look at later. And it's probably a good thing that these moss moss farms are still sometimes working to catch some of the pollution here. I should probably build the first miners that I built quite close to this forestry. I have some basic lead, but it's not that much. It's probably down somewhere. Don't really know where it was. Also, the lead looks quite much like the coal, or well, quite dark. So it's basically, is it this? I think it's this. And it's using this acetylene. So I have very many things there. I might actually use that temporarily, but rather move the smelting somewhere else where it can be more steady and where I can also later feed in stuff from the new miners in the new field. Okay, again, I need lead for rails. That's interesting. Okay, solder, yes. 2 different recipes for different amounts of rails. And I think I needed lead also for storage tanks. I can try to figure that out somewhere. Yeah, that's probably the main reason why I had some basic lead set up, so that I could build some of those tanks. Probably also some other things. Oh, that's my lead furnaces basically. For now I could just feed them more of the ore. And then later I could build furnaces in the east. Could also just try to transport the stuff away whenever I have more space in my inventory. Or since this is an automation game, I should do it automatically. Are you playing this game with this mod right now? Yeah, you really need a break from this game sometimes, even though the factory must grow. But it can be quite challenging sometimes. So there's some of the lead flowing out. I guess the bitumen feels quite liberated then, even though it has probably no mind of its own. I just have to think about where to go from here. I think I might build the lead furnaces inside this tree wall, maybe in this area, because maybe I don't need as many of those machines. There will be space there. Do you know when to use the biosample stuff? Is that already relevant at Red Science? I didn't listen to myself, so I just wanted to bring the lead ore left of the forest trees. Okay, so we seem to have a lack of fuel. I guess I need more of those forest trees actually. And it seems like even there are not enough of the saplings. I mean, that's always nice to have more forest trees to suck up more pollution. And I guess I should build some of those on the left. Maybe I should go backwards and build the forest trees in the north, and then I could somehow turn there. I hope I don't postpone that too long. But it would be nice to have construction robots ready for this job, because building the same forestry setup over and over again might not be too interesting. Do you personally also use some kind of forestry pollution wall, or do you just try to kill all the biters that dare to come near your pollution? I might use input priority right, which would actually help with getting more wood past this point. And also I seem to have forgotten to use the biomass in the steam engines, and I'm already out of belts again. Can you just burn those sap trees somehow, or do something with the sap? At some point in the game I had the problem that I didn't know I could burn the logs, so I had a jam of too many wood in my system that I needed to get rid of. Now I have sap in my inventory anyway. Okay, composting seems to be a good idea, generally. Also in real life. So what did I just do and why? I fetched some belts, okay. I wanted to reroute this biomass to the steam engines. sometimes leave those open spaces just to see what's on there. Sometimes I might forget. Or it's difficult to see when there's only underground belts, which I like to use because they are less items to pick up later. So I hope that works. You had to jump out of the ship. Which ship? Do we have a ship here? I mean, could you play Pyanodons together with space exploration, or is that another ship? Okay, so now it seems the biomass is actually properly used up. I still think I should get as much carbon dioxide out of it as possible. Yeah, Arundel is quite prolific in those mod creations, I guess. And also, I think at some point the furthest star that we know is called Arundel. In real life, I mean. I always fear that this is some kind of enemy base, but it's just chromium ore. So I really have to look carefully what it is. I was just looking for how far the pollution is spreading. And when I then see these red cubes or squares, then I'm quite confused. Yeah, that might also be true. I haven't read or watched all of those Tolkien things, so it might be in there somehow. I'll just put that there, and then I should be able to sneak another forestry set in there. The sound of these saws is quite annoying. But yeah, sounds like it might be an elf name. So I need some trees actually to put them inside there. Just another thing I should remember. So I don't know if I can build the same thing right here. which is quite a nice idea of mine, to use the belt in the same direction, but also put the logs only onto this belt from the left side. But in this case, down here, I need to move it up by one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm here, and I hear some sound on the left side, so that's not correct stereo. And it's not the boilers. They make quite a decent sound. Oh wow, that's quick. And if it then changes the fuel type, then it's slightly not enough. I might just have more of those here. Also, that's a good way to get rid of the burner inserters that I only use here. Resource labels updated. Okay. An even different mod still. Do you actually also have the mod that removes the black lines there? I think it's just called no black lines. Because normally in map view you would see these disturbances around the outside. I guess it's good to have more forestries right next to the steam engines. Oh, and those forestries aren't even on. But I still need the wood or the trees inside there. So now I go over to the other side, and I will also place these saplings back in. Stop shouting at me. Radar. Okay, I seem to be out of stone, which I have actually seen earlier, but didn't really react to because I was distracted. So let's do the stone from here. Hope that's only stone. And there's even more stone. Okay, that should be enough. Weed always helps, even if it's seaweed. I guess I could just put this like this. Okay, and some power as well. Then I shall look at the power. So I guess stream has been over 2 hours, so I guess maybe about there. Probably I added some boilers before that, or didn't I? Or I don't know. Maybe the steam was just enough to provide those steam engines. I wanted to get trees from there. Don't know how many I should get. Maybe I will just store them in a chest near the trees or near the forest trees. Why do I have this one lab in my inventory? I will just put it there. Please wait for me later. Don't run away. Also, I have logs in my inventory. That's not really good. All that trash. I should put it somewhere. I guess the soil can go to the right. But do I need soil for some machines? I guess for moss farms, but I do not really. Maybe I needed it early on for sap extractors. But I don't really often need soil, and if I need it, I can just get it from the 10k or so soil that I have already stored somewhere. So the biters attacked you. They didn't taste your revenge, but they did revenge themselves. I hope you can avenge your losses. So where does this limestone go? Probably right there. Now I wanted to input some trees into my forestry setup. Also, I could see whether I need more forestries built. I guess that might help for now. Yeah, I guess that's true about soil. It also is producing quite much faster than limestone. So I don't have to build as many machines to get just some soil. So what am I doing here? I guess I wanted to add some trees. And while I'm here, I can add a chest next to the steam engines just to remind myself that there might be trees for later. Do they have any They don't have a fuel value, so I can't just throw a tree inside of the boiler. I guess I was about to build this lead line, but apparently there's a gap somewhere. Oh, right there. It's below these composters. Die. So now there should be lead flowing through these belts. Do I have pump jacks for water? Are they just called pump jacks? I mean, I have those pump jacks. They might be able to do what you just said. I might just try out what they can do at the moment. So water, tar, of course I want all the tar in the world, not. And they can just make crude oil and natural gas. Interesting. Oh, but they need stuff. Drilling fluid and small parts. That's interesting. And for water, okay, water does just work like this. Do they all have different needs? I guess all the things that are not water have certain needs on top of just being there and having energy. Good to know. I guess I might just leave this there so I don't clutter up my inventory, but I will stumble up onto it from time to time, and then I might later decide to use some water there or anywhere. That's regolith. I don't really know. Wait. Regolith mine. Can I build that already? I guess not. Let's look at the other thing. Regulite mine. I guess I just had a typo. Or not. Let's look at the research. Okay, if it's that, then it's still a bit away. Oil boilers. Right, probably not here, but in the oil burner, probably. I just placed my lab somewhere. I might try to get it back soon and try to build an oil boiler or oil burner. So now I will try to build the lead furnaces. Let's just try to undo what I just did, at least a bit. I guess since I have a lot of biomass still, I might just use biomass as the fuel for the burning of lead. And up until just before the smelting area, I will keep those belts separated. But there I might just do something like this, and then later combine them again. Then I don't have to deal with weird ways to combine or to get fuel inside the furnaces. I hope this works. No, there's one gap. And I will just kill the tree so that I can see if there's any gap. And of course you need electricity. I might just do the same thing on the other side. And it still needs electricity, obviously. I guess from the right. I will be so happy to have construction bots for these very simple tasks. Let's just combine that again. And then I need to add some more inserters. And then I can have lead on the bus. How much do they need? So 1 lead plate from 6 lead ore. I guess I didn't decide to build the automated screener yet. I will take a look what I need for that. Okay, that's probably doable at some point. So this pollution is still not escaping much further. I can just ignore it for now. So you mean that's some kind of automation of building blueprints? So you just copy something from a blueprint and then you run over it with the inserter, for instance, and then it places it automatically. That would be quite convenient. Quite nice. I should look into that. Picker mode. So now I will get some tin. Just have to find out whether I want to do that on the right side or the left side of the bus. So I need a basic oxygen furnace and a casting unit. And then I need the hot air, which is on the left side normally, but there's just one machine making it at the moment. So theoretically I could try to make it on the left side, where I have no protection against the pollution at the moment. But I think the biters should still be quite far away, since this is my start area. And if I then extrapolate the distance to the first biters there, then they're probably around there maybe. I could try to look there, but then I would be afraid of them, maybe. Or maybe not, who knows. So let's now just pick some copper. Okay, that's that. I guess since the tin is already there, I might now just have to bring over the lead. But I really think I might also just do it on the right side, since there's not much going on. Shouldn't waste too much space. Just need to try to find a way through. Also, this uses hot air, so I can try to bypass this hot air to the right. Try not to get too close to the tar. I seem to be out of belts again. And I don't know if there's anything in between here. Apparently not. So after I have fetched some belts, I might still have to build certain machines. Don't really know where they are at the moment. I want to try to find them by name and hope to remember the name actually. I guess it might be here. Basic oxygen furnace, I think that was one of those. But I should get some circuits and other things. And try not to run into things when I'm going down and looking at other things. Green circuits, please. Okay. And I guess it can always help to have some small parts available. And a casting unit. I guess I could waste my lab on that. I don't know why a casting unit would need a lab and a local radar and steam engines, but okay. Okay, there I have tar already. And I guess that's now all the red science is done. I guess I could just do that, even though it's not very useful. Then it's at least out of the way. Basic oxygen furnace. I will try to place it rather on the right side. Molten solder, please. How quick are you? So then there's also some other kind of fuel. I guess that might just be biomass, for instance. And it takes 2 seconds. That's a lot of inputs. I guess the machine itself doesn't need energy, but the inserters certainly do need energy. And now I need to add fuel. I'll just try this biomass. That seems to work, so I will just move this over there. Yep, solid energy. In this case, it's even produced biologically, not in the too distant past. And then I could just try to look at Helmut again. I guess I just need hot air now in the casting unit. I guess there might be a different way to close Helmut without the escape button. Not with E. I guess I'll just either press escape a few times or find the X. I always rather like to use key combinations than moving my mouse. Okay, I might consider that. Moving it to some key. I want to look whether Control-Shift-F works. I also have this factory search mod, so whenever I, for instance, want to use, wait. I guess O is the train overview and Helmut as well, which is quite not ideal to have two things bound to the same key. But actually I wanted to have to look for instance, a log, and I guess I might find all the things where it's produced and stored. I'm not sure when train overview was added, if it was added in 1.0 or in 17 or 18. I'm not sure what versions there were anymore. So used to having 1.1 now. But yeah, that's actually nice to have factory search, especially in such complicated mods where there are so many different things that might be lying around in some places. Yeah, hot air is something that I already almost moved to the right. I guess I might just build the casting units now. This is them. And I guess I also need aluminum on the bus, which isn't yet done. But it's not as complicated as making molten solder or solder. The sound is quite annoying at some point in time. So there's just two inputs for the same thing. Don't really know what Beast Finder does. Does it find beasts? Or is it from Feed the Beast or something? might just do that on the left side. I mean, yeah, I can also find recipes, yeah, just as well. I don't know if it tags on the map. I have to try to look at this. I guess you can open the location and the map, and then it tags them just when you are in the zoomed in mod map, I mean. Or this chest, for instance, it just marks them, but only when you're close enough. Would be interesting to see some kind of comparison video between those mods, what they can and can't do, or what the differences are. So there I have solar finally. I mean, I could have it made much more easily, but I chose the more efficient way, which took a bit longer to set up. 7 solder every 4 seconds. I guess the 2 inserters should be able to deliver that. And I think I might just use the... I guess I might need another bus lane quadruple. Yeah, I've seen factory search from Exterminator. I mean the mod, what was it called? Looking at the mods. Mod Spotlight, I guess. There I have found the factory search, but I don't know how new or old the Beast Finder is. So I'm almost running into this iron line, which I hope I can surpass with a few underground belts. So the hot air seems to keep up with the solder production. I guess it's quite new. I mean, I have only used it in this version of the game. Don't know if it has existed before. Do you play in the newer versions, or do you still have the factory from older versions? So there are those construction Pyanodons. I guess I will move them slightly more to the left. Let's say there. So I have some space to actually build those rubber belts, as we called them. I just wonder why the rubber production has stalled. I don't have enough polybutadiene. I guess the problem might be that the steam is full, and for that purpose I might have to set up those cooling towers actually. Let's look again. Maybe it says something about ingredient in. So I could do bone meal out of this unknown key item, which is weird. It's used in agar. And all those foods, I guess. But I don't know if it's the hot steam or the cold steam. But also water, so I can use it in a cooling tower. Good to know. Just have to do it at some point. So the best solution is just to hang another tank at that place, or just to delete the fuels. Since at the moment I don't have a problem with getting water, so I don't really need to cool it down. Yeah, I guess I have seen that in Hell mode already. Or does it? I think in the red science it was somewhere. Yeah, in this place it says over or equals 165 degrees. Don't know if there are any other ingredients anywhere that have a certain temperature need. Okay, you mean probably in here? Or not? Or you mean Helmut? That would make more sense. I'll just add another thing and search for a recipe and look for steam. It's quite a lot of things. Yeah, there it actually says 60 degrees. Oh, filter by ingredient. Yeah. Still have to apply it first, or? It also applies this to everything that just needs steam engines. Don't know if I can just do that. That doesn't seem to do the trick. Maybe I would have to use the game internal variable name or something. Don't really know that right now, and it doesn't really interest me too much at the moment. So I will just try to finish one more thing, maybe. For instance, getting the solder over to those machines for the robots. I need solder, I need small parts and engine units. I have no engine units so far. And I guess steel might not even be on the bus yet. So there's still a lot to do. I guess I could just try to use my to-do list. I have tin and lead. Well, maybe not lead on the bus completely, but now I just need to know how to remove that. Edit, delete. Edit, delete. So always have to click twice. That's quite annoying, but okay. So you did just add an equal sign to the search somewhere like this, or something different. Ah, that, yes. I thought you meant the equal sign, but yeah. My interpretations are not always the best. Translated names, I don't know if that's relevant. Okay, there are quite a few recipes that need steam in some way. Maybe this tin ore recipe. I guess those iron and copper ore recipes will not work. But yeah, I might try to look through that. I might also try to find 165 there. This will not work, but if I say contains, it will also not work. Okay. Maybe it doesn't recognize. Now I have left the space in there. I remove the space. I will get a lot more recipes. I guess I have to put the greater equals sign there. I don't know how to produce that right now without Googling it. So I will not do this right now. Okay, what did I just want to do again? Probably bring over the solder as well. And then I will probably run out of belts. And I guess I did just open that to add steel with 2 E's. I don't want to steal anything, I guess. Engines. Probably something else. So that's something for later and probably something high priority. And now I'm out of belt. That's actually a good idea with the filters. Except of course if you have quite a limited inventory. I mean that makes it more urgent to actually do something about it, but yeah. Also removes some inventory space if you cannot fill it yet. I guess if I look at the robot crafting recipe, I will see again what I might have to put there. I mean, aluminum probably. These aluminum plates or whatever. And then if I have steel and engines and aluminum plates, I should have everything that I need. I will then just create the belts wherever they are needed. And those rubber items still come along, that's quite nice. But I guess I will end the stream for now, for today. And hope you all have a nice day from now on. And year and life, and we will see when I will stream again. Goodbye.